Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma of My Psychic One. Let's take a look and see what your reading is going to be for this new year. We're not going to do a whole year reading, but we're going to do this week and see what the energy is for you. This is for December 29th through January 4th. Let's begin, shall we? Sagittarius. A little quick shuffle for you. And a toss. All right, Sag in the house. Ooh, 7 of coins. Judgment card. Pressure much? New relationship, new energy right here, a renewal. So you have some interesting things going on. You've got some tension. I don't know if that's within your household, but I see you moving things around. The 7 of coins represents a move. It might mean a transfer. It might mean switching rooms around, moving an office, moving your home. I do see the Judgment card. 3-headed dragon references pressure. We have the Page of Cups. That tells me that you have a new relationship, new energy within a relationship, a renewal, a honeymoon within your home or within your relationship and lover. There is the 6 of Swords. So that's cool to see, because what happens with the 6 of Swords is it tells me that things are going to get easier. That's a release of tension, a release of pressure, baptism, renewal, a new relationship with yourself as well. This is something you nurture and cherish. We have the Fool card, so that's Sum Zero. It's one of my favorite cards. It references you having opportunity. So there's a crossroads for you to come to, decisions to be made. You're going to be coming up on this new year going, well, what am I going to do next? The cool thing about the Fool is it's not just being a fool. It's not being an idiot. It's not being the jester. It's literally coming to a crossroads and going, wow, what am I going to do with this? So that's kind of a cool thing to see, because there's a lot of opportunity within that. King of Wands, if you're stepping into something new as far as employment goes, that's referencing leadership. So you're going to be asked to show up a little bit more when it comes to leadership. The Star card. So here's what's interesting about the Star card. And notice you've got 4 major cards coming up here in this so far. It's just like I think it was Virgo that had like 8 or 9, which means big moving energy, which isn't unlikely to say, because we do have the new year coming up. All of us feel a little renewal and regeneration around the new year. We definitely take a good hard look at what we were doing, and we're taking a good hard look at what's serving us and what we want to continue. We also want to erase the mistakes that we've made in the year before, and we want to make sure that we don't repeat them. The Star card is referencing having your head in the clouds. So if you're sitting there in your planning stages and not putting not putting the engine in gear, so to speak, get the rubber on the road and start making some moves, because this is you not paying attention to the day-to-day because your head is up here. We have the Sun card, another major. We have the Knight of Wands. If you're feeling like you don't have what it takes to step into leadership, put that down. It's like a lot of us sell ourselves short when it comes to leadership because we think someone is better qualified. But one thing that I've noticed and experienced, especially being a paramedic, is when we had managers or supervisors that we couldn't stand, everybody would bitch about it. But here's what's true. They only have the pool from which to choose from for who showed up. A lot of people think they can do a better job, but they're not willing to take the lower pay and the extra hours or the criticism. Or I know in my field, it was always like the career ender. You ended up in management for a little while and then moved on to something else because it's brutal. But if you don't feel like you have what it takes, like erase that. There's a lot more movement upward than you would believe, and a lot more support. I do see the 9 of Wands. You are laying a foundation for the next steps, right? I am seeing the Tower card. You are feeling, this has been a repetitive theme for the last few readings that I've had, and it's telling me that the foundation is really being shaken for a lot of us. And what's happening is we're about to do the thing, okay? We're about to do the big thing and shake things up. And we're in, well, as far as you go, Sagittarius, you have the 2 of Wands. You're of 2 minds right now. You're sitting in the middle. This either is you being between a couple and they're 2 differing opinions, between a child and a parent, between 2 best friends that you're in the middle of. This might even be 2 ideas where you're not quite sure which steps you want to take. I do see the 8 of Cups, which tells me some things are going to be moving a little quickly, might be relationship wise. The Justice card is showing up. So if you have court coming up, mediation, litigation, whatever, I am seeing that if you do have that, it'll move a little quickly. And the interesting thing is, the 2 of Wands, indecision is a decision, guys. And so being stuck in the middle means no movement is being had. I do see the 7 of Cups, which is internal balance, though. So whatever work it is you're doing, I commend you. That's telling me that you're coming into balance. You're really choosing to take yourself out of your head and put things into play. And it's also telling me that you're doing the work. So are you doing your meditations? Are you doing your self-care, etc.? I wouldn't worry too much about the Justice card here because it's not playing with the Tower. It's not playing with the Devil card where substances are involved or someone's coming in and it's a surprise. This means just putting things on paper. The Justice card might also be referencing signing contracts for you or putting things on paper or getting mediation or things like that. Let's pull some cards for you regarding your relationship energy. This isn't just your lovers as a whole for Sagittarius, but it may also be your relationship with your family, your children, etc. So let's take a look and see what's up for that. Empress. Timing is everything. So the Empress here in this deck references time. She's pregnant. It means birth, or things are at their point of ready to happen, or next steps are being had. I do see the Four of Swords. If you're in avoidance right now, or you're not talking about certain things, you may not be hearing from a certain person or a lover, or you may not be communicating as well as you should. Some people are shutting down. I do see the Queen of Cups, which references emotions. So if your emotions are running high, the Queen of Cups is telling me that you're not doing such a bad job at it. It means speak to what you have going on. Knight of Wands is referencing a plea, an apology, asking for something. I'm also seeing the Hierophant. So are you being stubborn in your relationships, Sagittarius? Are you being immovable? Are you being the know-it-all? Because the Hierophant really tells us that, someone is sitting there and they're like hoarding all of the knowledge, and they're being, that person that seems to say, I got this. But let's move forward and see what else shows up for you. Nine of Swords, either you work nights or you're up at night a lot lately. Are you having lucid dreams? I do see some travel coming up for you. Temperance is all about balance. The cool thing about Temperance is it's equal measure. So what's going on for you in your relationships is there's a lot of give and take going on, a lot of people giving back. And the relationships are, you have decisions going on, but the World card is telling me that a lot of things are coming into play for your greater good and your benefit. The Lovers card, Five of Swords, the Tower. So some of your relationships out there are going to be shaken up a little bit. Don't lose hope. Don't get frustrated. A lot of motion, movements, and shaking things up is good for your relationship because it tells you where the rubber meets the road. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Fate is playing a role for you. So if you're finding that, things are lining up as they should, that's because the Wheel of Fortune is at play. We also have the Hermit card. And the cool thing about the Hermit is you have a tendency to go within and you don't ask other people their opinion on what you should do when it comes to your relationships or your opinion on what to do next with your people. The Hermit card has to do with evidence. Are you gathering evidence right now, Sagittarius? Are you pulling information in? Because this card right here has the Book of Knowledge, the magnifying glass. We have the Tree of Life back there, which is all the knowledge of good and evil. And then we have Illumination and the Staff of Righteousness. But what's true about all of that is you're gathering data. This is you pulling in information, trying to see what's right, trying to see what's true for you and what it is that you want to do. Trust yourself, Sagittarius. There is no one else that has a clearer picture or a truer image of what it is that you need than yourself. Trust yourself. All right, let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients and see what your divine message is. If you want a one-on-one with me, you know how to do it, karmaondeck.com. Or find me at My Psychic One, among other resources. You know where to find me, guys. Runes. Me likes the runes. Perception. So what are you perceiving with all this information that you're gathering, Sagittarius? I'm trying to think of the alphabet. Does anybody else do the alphabet in their head in order or sing it when they're looking at something to pull their... I'm looking through the pages going A, B, C, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. All right. Sorry. Random as usual. Perception. So it's important to see things a little differently right now. Imagine yourself in the place of those who appear to be confronting you, your words or your actions. Perhaps rather than taking this as a sign of their displeasure or dislike of what you're doing, see their words as an opportunity to improve the situation by being more open-minded. Perhaps their actions will actually provide you with an even stronger, more robust idea about how to proceed. The runes are a reminder that in one single toss, you can choose a very different outcome. Those that seem to be your enemies can often deliver the most useful lessons in life. Aren't those the harshest words too sometimes? I always listen One of my favorite quotes is, honesty is only brutal if you don't like what you hear. And karma says, if you don't like what you hear, listen twice. Because what's true is, if you don't like what you hear, there might be a grain of truth in it. Are you running around being a little asshole and someone calls you one finally and you're like, I'm a what? Maybe you are. I mean, your perception is best seen through others. We often try to sell the story of what we think we look like, and others are really going to give us that feedback. And so sometimes, you know, even the compliments that come our way, we don't listen to carefully, because we're like, oh, it's whatever. You know, they're just being nice. But really start listening. And it may not be that they're right. It may not be how you're coming off to them. It may be their perception, and that might be a key too to how that person perceives things in general. And it may not serve you, and it may not be someone you want in your life, or it may be someone you do want in your life. Take a good look. You're good at that. Those that seem to be your enemies can often deliver the most useful lessons in life. Not often pretty, not often fair. Incantation. How I perceived caused me to fall, and so the writings on the wall. Lessons in all I shall embrace, and see the good in all I face. There you have it, Sagittarius. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel your reading went, and tell me where you are in the world. That's always interesting to me to see how far I reach, because I love my clients in Australia and Canada, South America. I've got some people in Dubai and Africa, London. Let me know where you guys are. Happy New Year to you, and I will catch you on the flip side. Love and light, y'all. See you next time.